We came to Colombia's Caribbean coast thinking Cartagena would be the highlight of the trip. But after visiting Tayrona, spending an evening in El Rodadero, and finally exploring Cartagena, things turned out very differently from what we expected. One place gave us one of our favorite experiences in Colombia. Another was beautiful, but so chaotic that we struggled to enjoy it. So which place was actually worth visiting? And which one will we probably not return to? After spending 2 months in Medellin, we decided to take a short flight to Colombia's Caribbean coast. Domestic flights in Colombia are surprisingly affordable and convenient, and in less than about 2 hours we arrived in Santa Marta. After landing, we picked up a rental car. We paid just about $148 for the entire week, and we drove it to our hotel near El Rodadero Beach. That's where we would end up staying for the next few days. El Rodadero had a completely different energy from Medellin. The water was calm, the beachfront was full of people, and the whole area felt alive. Families and groups of friends were spending time together, people were out there swimming in the sea, restaurants were busy, and everyone seemed to be enjoying the warm Caribbean evening. It was the perfect introduction to this part of Colombia. After a quiet morning coffee by the sea, we hit the road to Tayrona National Park. We were excited, completely unprepared, and we had no idea what the day was about to give us.
What's up, guys?
Hi.
Today we are in Tayrona National Park, otherwise known as a park that's incredibly hard to drive to get into. But we're gonna take the day to discover this place. We're gonna check out a few of these beaches, see what the vibe is. We are kind of in off season, so there's not that much or not that many people, which is kind of a good thing. And hopefully we'll discover some beautiful nature in this national park.
From here looks beautiful, as you see behind us, the beach.
Yeah, this is the view. This is the beach that we'll be heading to first. There are several, and there are a few that I guess you could pay a boat guy to take you to. So maybe we will do that if we could find a good deal. At the very beginning, they wanted to hustle us and us pay $134 or 500 pesos to take a boat ride, and that was going to be a no-go on that one. So we ended up paying basically roughly like $30 all in to get into the national park. You have to pay for insurance fee for your car, then you have the entry pass, and then you drive all the way through, and you just pick a beach basically which one you want to go to, or you can hit several of them, and that's probably what we'll do, at least hit a couple. So let's get back in this little Kia, aka 4x4. I'm pretty sure it's going to be destroyed when it's said and done, but so far so good. One thing about this park, I would say, the roads are absolutely terrible. I don't know what they're putting the money to, unless it's just going right into the government's pockets. But they could at least offer a service where you pay and you stay at the gate, and then they have these 4x4 Jeeps or trucks that will drive you through, because these roads are horrendous, and we'll be lucky if we don't get a flat tire when it's said and done. I hope not.
We realized we were heading to a different beach, not the famous one we had come to see, so we changed our route. Tayrona is one of Colombia's most famous national parks, where the jungle of the Sierra Nevada meets the Caribbean Sea. The park is known for the tropical forests, wildlife, and remote beaches, but many of those beaches require a long hike to reach. In Cabo San Juan, the beach we were looking for was definitely not right next to the parking lot.
So this is the area where you can rent a horse to go at the beach. Or you can walk for 2 hours like we're doing.
After long days exploring in new cities, frequent travel, carrying heavy bags, looking down at our phones, and spending hours editing on a computer, we usually feel the strain directly in our necks. That's why, for almost a month, We've been testing the SKG G7 Pro-Fold, a next-generation smart titanium pulse neck massager designed especially for frequent travelers and digital nomads. Because it is a lightweight, foldable, and portable, we can take it outside the home and enjoy a massage anytime, anywhere. One of the biggest advantages for us is portability. It weighs only 278 grams, it folds down to around the size of a phone, and fits easily inside a backpack or carry-on bag. But this isn't simply a vibrating neck massager. It combines a triple massage system with TENS and EMS pulse technology, vibration and red light heat. TENS stimulates the sensory nerves to provide a soothing sensation, while EMS creates a gentle massage contraction to help activate and relax the stiff muscles. Together, the pulses provide a light micro-traction around the neck. This is especially relevant because when looking down at a phone, a 60-degree angle can place the equivalent of around 60 pounds of pressure on the neck. That light traction is designed to help relieve that tension and encourage a more upright posture. It also features near-infrared and red light heating, which warms up in approximately 5 seconds, along with the titanium massage heads that are skin-friendly and resistant to sweat and corrosion. Through the Future Wear app, we can choose from 11 massage modes and adjust the pulse vibration and heat levels directly from our phones. We found it especially practical after exploring all day, during airport waits, after flights, and following long editing sessions. Each session takes around 15 minutes, making it easy to fit into our travel routine. You can find the SKG G7 Pro-Fold through the links in the description and the pinned comment below. Now let's get back to the vlog.
Here's just a bird's eye view after tracking down about 2 kilometers through the woods, or through the forest. Get a little bit of a view. But we're going through all this hiking through the woods, jungle. I'll say you can hear it. That water sounds fierce. Oh my God. Look at the view. It's a shame the water's so rough because we're getting in it. Could be a little peligroso, as they say. But at this point, just sweating my ass off for an hour of hiking. I really don't care. So let's get there. It's interesting, you go through all this crazy hiking, trees, jungle, rocks to climb over, and then you're in like this, I don't know, what feels like a Harry Potter or Willow scene if you're from my era. One of my favorite movies ever, with Mel Gibson, actually. Good old Willow. It's a classic. If you haven't seen Willow, watch it. Tell me what you think. I think we made it, guys. Emma met this girl who actually gave her a ride. She's from London or Wales, maybe. Not sure, one of those British places. Oh, look at the view. The problem is this water does not look safe to get in. I'm gonna get in it, but it doesn't look safe to do it. Now let's get in this water and hope we don't die before she returns and then I never find my body. It does look a little ferocious. Water feels amazing, but man, this current is vicious. I can feel it. Yeah. Maybe we'll find a better little lagoon spot that's safer to get into. I hope. Because there's no way Emma should get in this water. And that would suck. Okay, Emma caught up. And that wasn't it. Apparently there is a nice little safer region where you could go swimming and not die doing it. So. Beautiful horses. So I think you can take these guys the rest of the way. They're beautiful. Okay, so we made a pit stop at those little stations where they serve you smoothies. And I think you can even get some temporary Wi-Fi. You pay for it. They told us we have 40 minutes till we get to this location. And we could probably do it in about 20, 25 minutes. I could do it in 10, but again, I'm not trying to brag that I'm biologically a specimen, a unit for a 45-year-old machine, if you will. I'm not trying to say that at all. Anyways, another thing we did say, and I'm just kidding, I like to joke, so I'm a veteran. I could do a lot worse, trust me. I have to restrain myself because my wife is like a librarian, basically. But we saw they have these places where they have like hammock bungalows where you could stay out here. And there's several places. I'll have to see the sign because I don't remember all of them. There's several beaches. But what they do is they rent out tents, they rent out hammocks, and you like share like a giant room full of hammocks. You just kind of rent out a hammock. But you could also get a tent, I imagine maybe with a sleeping bag that you either bring or maybe they give you one. And then also like a bedroom or a bungalow. So we're gonna see what's available here because the situation me and Emma got ourselves in is we went to that first national park, which was a complete waste of money and time. Highly don't recommend it. But this one was a little bit further down, a lot easier to get to. The problem is we got to it and it is, let me see, yeah, we're talking about 2:45. So here's the issue. It takes roughly an hour and a half, 2 hours ish, depending on your athleticism and how much your thirst has been quenched. But long story short is we're going to get here, we're going to enjoy this place at least for a couple hours, but then we got to worry about the sunset. And if we're going to walk an hour and a half back, we can't do it in the dark. So that's like a huge problem. We'll have to figure that out. So I think we're going to have to stay here because we don't want to walk back in the dark. We'll see how it plans out. So if you want to be really lazy and not crazy, you can rent one of these horses. Tad bit overpriced, but they'll lug you all the way to your destination. I see most people, which is good, they're choosing to hike. You get the steps in. You gotta earn nature's beauty, nature's gift. And I think we're getting close, folks. So oh, look at this. Here's a problem. There's certain areas that you can get into. Beware, alligators inhabit this area. So definitely gonna be jumping in here, huh? Why not? So this might be the area where the alligators would hang out at. That does look like some alligator water. Anyways, we finally made it to Cabo San Juan, and we made it so late we decided to get a tent, and it cost us 150,000 pesos. It'd be too late to walk back in the dark and make our way back home, so we just decided that we're going to be camping out here in Colombia. Basically eating a night at our hotel room by not staying there and then spending more money, which was only like 20 bucks to stay in like a tent. So we're essentially camping on the beach. So in a way it's really cool to be exposed to nature. How many people could say they slept off the beach on the coast of Santa Marta in Colombia? Not many people. Now we are one of those people that can. So we're gonna make the most of it. And as you can see, these are kind of they're all kind of lined up here. Everybody's making their own little area. You got spots here where they're based off how much you want to spend. That room right there is just a bunch of hammocks laying. Then you got some smaller tents. Looks like some people could bring their tents. And then we got one of the bigger ones for like a double-sized air mattress, I think, and then 2 pillows. Very basic, no fans. I do hope that it does get a little chilly because I tend to be pretty hot-natured and I don't want to sweat my ass off. Well guys, we stayed at the campsite for the night. Terrible sleep. It was much more hot and humid in the tent than we thought. We didn't get colder air. So with that being said, it was still an interesting experience, to say the least. Met some cool people from other countries. Had a few cervezas. Called it a night, and now we're heading out. It's about 7:30 in the morning. We're walking back. And as you can see, my feet are tore up from these very cheap sandals, so I'm walking barefooted in the jungle. I don't know if you can hear in the background. If you listen closely enough, you'll hear these monkeys, and they sound really spooky actually. Okay guys, here's our accommodation. It's Azul Hotel Boutique, and we got the Deluxe King Suite, sea view. And we love it. We're actually almost level with the sea, as you can see here. The sea's just literally right there. So we wake up to a beautiful view, and actually the sun sets on this side. And they have some cool little decor here. Beautiful king bed. Got aircon, of course. We got a TV. We got the refrigerator that they load up and have everything. Of course, they charge you for it, but depending what you want, they have a little bit of everything. And then take you to the bathroom here. It's actually a pretty good size. There's the shower, toilet. It's pretty simplistic. The only weird thing we didn't like is there's no door to the bathroom. So this was our place. We paid $288 for 4 nights. Just when you come up out of our hotel room, this is the first view you get in the morning. The room's right down there, safely protected by prison wire. Nothing to be alarmed there, but look how beautiful it is here. I mean, it's so peaceful. It's gorgeous. Let me show you guys the balcony where the restaurant is, and we get our coffees and enjoy the views. And here they have the pool. They haven't had it quite ready yet, so we didn't get to use any of it. I think it's under construction, obviously, but this is a place where you have a TV, you can lounge.
After the peace and wild beauty of Tayrona, we continued along Colombia's Caribbean coast toward our next stop, Cartagena.
Finally, we arrived in Cartagena, one of the most famous cities in Colombia. Today is our first day here exploring. We just arrived at the historic center. We are starting our day at the clock tower, one of the most famous and iconic spots in Cartagena. And we'll be going around exploring this beautiful city. Come with us. This is the clock tower, the most iconic entrance to Cartagena's old town. It was originally built in the 600s, and for centuries this was the only way to enter the walled city.
After seeing it so many times online, we honestly expected it to be one of the biggest highlights of the trip. But our experience felt very different. There's no question that Cartagena is beautiful. The colorful buildings, the old streets, flower-covered balconies, and historic architecture make it one of the most visually impressive cities we visited in Colombia. But for us, it was difficult to fully enjoy. The heat and humidity were so intense, and almost everywhere we walked, someone was trying to approach us and sell something. Tours, souvenirs, food, drinks. There was always someone trying to get our attention. And we completely understand that people are trying to make a living, but after being approached again and again, it became difficult to relax and simply enjoy the city at our own pace. Between the heat, the noise, and the traffic, the crowds, and the constant selling, the whole experience started to feel a bit overwhelming. Cartagena was beautiful, but it was not the experience we had imagined. And based on the first visit, Tayrona was easily the highlight of Colombia's Caribbean coast for us. It was not the easiest place to reach, it was not the most comfortable experience, but it was one we will remember the most. Let us know in the comments, which one would you choose, Tayrona, El Rodadero, or Cartagena? Thank you guys so much for watching, we'll see you in the next adventure.